art. So tonight we have with us Sugiyanti Ariani from Indonesia. She's a close friend of mine, a brilliant actress and performance artist who I've worked with many times, and she has gone on to doing other great things. Like she's trained in the Suzuki Tadashi style. She was one of the Indonesian artists selected to go there and train. We have Allegra Ceccearelli, who is from Brazil and Italy, but she's living in Bali, and she's a Balinese dance researcher, mask performer, and I met Allegra through Metamorphosize community. And she's also recently the artistic director of several festivals, online festivals in Brazil, and I'll let you talk about her. We have Sanusi Ayo, but I know him as Sanusi Deji. Yeah. A dancer from Nigeria. Now, I met him actually via Rasheed. Yeah. And then he performed once for us in a Metamorphosize event, and he was dancing in the street, and I love his work and Rasheed's work. Rasheed is also from Nigeria, and I have crashed into many of his performances several times. Watched him perform through Metamorphosize. I also joined him in an improvisation one night. He works with Femi Israel, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Laura, who I met here as well, I joined her workshop, Glitter Size, and I thought she was just like me, you know, someone who just likes dancing. And then I started following her on Instagram and realized that she's a pretty amazing artist as well. Like, I know, not saying that what she wasn't doing, what she was doing was amazing, but yeah, that she's actually a highly disciplined, trained artist. Now, this is some of the things that interests me in all of you is your different disciplines. But it was actually, and I'll show you this later, 2 videos from Rasheed and Laura that really got me thinking. I want to get these two people to meet and talk and share ideas. Now I'm going to play a video, which is what I'm supposed to do straight away, which gives you a bit of context, gives you a bit of an overview of what they do, and then I'm going to let them talk about what they do themselves. Just give me a second. So I'm gonna, give them a clap. It's pretty stunning. I'm gonna get myself out of this because I'm not important. Put Sugi back in, yeah, add the spotlight. Okay. All right, so I actually did everything I wasn't going to do, which was introduce you. I was going to let you introduce yourselves and then play the video. So what I would like to do is just play an excerpt from, another little excerpt from Laura, and then a little excerpt from Rasheed, because this was the video that I saw that made me want to do this. Oops. I don't know if I'm playing it too short or too long. And the other one from Rasheed, which was in that video we just saw. It was actually a different video to this. But it was a very similar one. So I'm going to throw a question at all of you. Energy and connection. Organicity, I forgot how to say that word. Organicity, movement, internal inspirations. What is your connection to Earth and your breath in your performances?
Do you mind if you repeat, Kerensa? Because for me, I couldn't, there was a cut. What is your connection with?
Connection to Earth or to the ground and your breath in your performances. I'll type it into the chat as well.
Yes, please type it to the chat.
We choose who starts. How does it go?
Do you want to talk? You can go for it. Or you can raise your hand.
Can I?
Someone wants to say? Rasheed, want to say something?
Can I start that?
Yes, go for it.
So for me, as an African artist, as an African dancer from the who trained firstly from the traditional dances, we don't dance this way. You know, we dance like to the mother head, like we are paying an homage to the mother head anytime we dance. So we're always on the sitting position, and while the chest is facing the ground, like paying an homage to the mother head. So for me, there is an adage in Nigeria that says, before I greet everybody, I'm greeting the ground first. Kintoki gbogbo ile mo ki ile. You understand? Mojuba ile. So I pay homage to the mother head, to my motherland before I pay homage, before paying homage to every other person on here. You know? So for me, that's my first ideology whenever I dance, and my inspiration from Mother Earth. About my breath when I dance. Actually, as an artist, you know, you have different layers, like different stages when you are dancing, and you need to do this, you need to do that. But I control my breath with my moods, because for, can you hear me?
Yes.
So because every every situation I find myself, every mood I find, it's a different breath, it's a different energy. So I can't just pace through with just one energy. So I have to diversify. Okay, how do I go this way? So when I'm suffering, how do I feel? It's a different energy with when I'm happy, you know? So, and that's it for me. That's it.
Thank you, Rasheed. Allegra, I see a connection there. Balinese dance and breath and your experience there, different types of breathing and energy.
Yeah.
Unless you have something else to say.
No, yeah, 100% completely connected with what Rasheed said. I mean, Balinese dance, it's about being the dancer is a link between the material world and the spiritual world. So your legs are going to be very grounded in the base. I'll give you a quick demonstration. Your legs are going to be very grounded and open. Female, but still grounded, completely connected, you're centered to the ground. And then you have your hands up to the sky. So you are this completely link that is grounded to earth, but open to receive the energy from the sky, basically. So yes, there's a lot of connections. It's impossible to dance Balinese dance without being aware of Mother Nature, of being aware of the whole universe, the whole environment. The dance is much bigger than actually performing as entertainment for an audience. Balinese dance, it's about performing for the whole ensemble. Actually, you will dance if you don't have an audience. It doesn't matter. You don't need an audience. You know, you just need to be connected and offer. It's an offering who's moving, basically. And the breath, completely connected as well. But it's not something that you get when you start. I mean, all this connection, it takes a time. It takes a long time, and I'm still developing it. What happens in the Balinese dance when you start practicing Balinese dance is that you lose the breath a lot. I think you might connect with that, Kerensa, when you started. It's almost like fainting. So you need to learn how to breathe again, you know, how to actually engage my breathing in my dance, otherwise I die. And you see here in Bali, many students faint whenever they're performing because you're completely covered in a costume. And if you don't really work in your breath, you're really gonna faint, you know, so you need to work in it. But process slowly, and then you get all the connection, the breathing and the energetic work as well starts to happen. The whole magic starts to happen. No?
Thank you. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I won't comment much because I have poor social skills. Laura.
Yeah. So first, when you said, what's the connection to the earth and then the breath? And as soon as you said the word breath, I just took a big breath and like, just the word, even thinking about breathing or being alive, like the breath and the earth, it's so connected to aliveness for me. And I come from classical ballet, but also lots of different other practices. I danced for a Brazilian dance company. I was studying a lot of Haitian dance and different types of African dance, which sort of in my 20s. And at a certain point, like it clicked, this moment of like being able to really get down into the ground and just how humbling, how alive, how like important it is as a human to be able to go down and to get down. And when I was studying movement analysis a long time ago, 25 years ago, I did a piece that was called Submerged, and it was about going under the water. And as I did it, it was to an old Norwegian song, and my family is Norwegian, but I didn't speak Norwegian. And the language was so ancient that most Norwegians didn't understand it. So I made this whole dance, and as I was making the dance, I was having these dreams about water and about being underwater. And so I called the dance Submerged, and about like this journey down below the water. And then, so I feel like it's getting into the earth, like under the surface of the earth when we go into the water. And it turned out that the music was about a call to a water spirit. So I feel like our bones and our tissues and our cellular memory is connected to the earth and to the breath. So, and as coming from the ballet world, like it's all up there. It's about transcending, but not even being a person, right? It's about being some kind of creature that's in the forest and nobody, that the prince is going to fall in love with it. Like it's this very unreal part. So like my work is much more contemporary ballet and there's a lot of getting down to the ground. And to me, it's also very exciting to go from the ground to something that's very up. So having this relationship of movement that's really moving into the depth, into gravity, and then up and away from it, and then back down. And like, I like sort of, it's not that I want to say I like violence, but I like the intensity of being thrown into the earth and feeling it. I wish I could see when I saw some of Rasheed and Sanusi, seeing your work also, I saw that same like, wow, there's that thing, which is what drew me to pole. So that's a big, huge answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask Sugi to go first because I know it's really awful being the last person. Sanusi's quite confident. So yes, Sugi?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not. Basically, I'm not a dancer because yeah. Basically, I'm not a dancer actually. I study for theater, for acting, but I found that I falling in love and the connection with our body. I mean, it's like something that it's hard to find to just make short explanation. I mean. But when I move, for example, in the video that I took in the Bandanera in the teaser, I try to feel the surrounding me because in my culture, I'm a Japanese girl, and we have a lot of connection with the earth. Especially when in daily life, I mean, I live in the hills, and usually we still make some traditional activities, and this connection with the earth, of course. And when I move, I just feel like surrounding me. It's not just earth and breathing, but the color, the space, the time. It's like give you something to go inside to your body. That's something that I found when I move. That's why I like to move. I don't know it's a dance or what, but when I move, I got that. I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Sugi.
Maybe that's all for now. Yeah.
Yeah, I will show you that video that you just talked about shortly. Sanusi's just gone. And now I realize that he's outside, outdoors. Sanusi, are you nearby? We'll come back to him. Yeah. Okay, so this is the part where each of the artists are going to show some of their work. I think probably it makes sense to show Sugi since she just mentioned the Bandar piece. That's Validasi, isn't it?
Yeah, Validasi and
Lava.
The fear in the water, lava. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just put that volume down. It's a little bit noisy. So this is the piece that she was just talking about. We won't play the whole piece. Just the next little bit and the other one. Sorry, wait. Oh, hello, Sanusi. Hello. Hi. Before he wrote your screen, Sanusi,
Hello, hi. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Sugi just finished talking.
I'm so sorry. I have to like go pee.
That's okay. So you and breath and earth. Do you want to add anything to that?
My own ideology. This is it. Due to my kind of training or my kind of background, dancing and being connected to the earth is like the most natural thing actually. And recently, I've been making a lot of research on the masquerade. Masquerade. Started like making a lot of research on masquerade, especially from the Oyo State. Oyo State, which is like my state, my hometown. Found out my great grandfathers are masquerade because I've been like thinking of it that why can't I just so sleep? I didn't learn how to sleep. I didn't learn gymnastics. I didn't learn tricking. I just know how to do this thing. So there's something behind it. Then I started learning, like I started looking for making research, looking for answers, and I was able to get some interesting answers. So first thing first, according to what I was told, Earth is a god on its own. Earth. It's not just called Earth; it's called Mother Earth. Mother Earth on its own is a god, like a god. So and according to the Yorubas, you say Ileman Ojoti, we do say a prayer like Ojoti Ebibang Pa Ile, our Nick which means the day the earth is hungry, we would not be unfortunate to go through that way, which means the earth eats people, the accidents where there's a lot of blood, accidents, anything else that has to do with accidents, that's like Mother Earth. It's a god on its own. It's like a sacrifice. Like there are some places in Nigeria that you cannot go, you cannot travel to at some point in time. But no, you cannot just go there. It's like at a given period of time in Nigeria, if you're going through that way, like you're traveling towards that kind of place, you could actually have an accident and die. That's head. That's Mother Head. Well, Head is a god, and we pay homage. We pay homage to the god spiritually. And then the breathing is, it's like the breathing. How we connected to the breathing? The breathing is actually, I don't know how to really explain it, but at some point I remember at some point in my lifetime I had to go for breathing training, how to breathe while dancing. Like they tell you in how the yoga experience, we have to learn how to breathe because my kind of dance is Afro. It takes a lot of energy. Especially me, I do Afro and I'm more of into aesthetics. So I do Afro and I'm sleeping. That's like double energy because gymnastics is taking a lot of energy actually. So for me to be able to control my breathing at those period of time and not gas out while performing or making my work, it's like it's not a day job and it's not a big job. But then it was just so crazy. It's something that I just grew to. I don't know. I wasn't extremely conscious of it. I was never extremely conscious of it. But I'm very conscious when I'm very tired. Like very, very tired. I started from okay, how would I make a 2 minute performance and not get extremely tired? Like if I start with this pace, I should be able to end with this pace. So I started from there, I shouldn't go up and drop. My performance should never go climax, then I drop. It's like you're feeding the audience already, you're feeding them, you're giving them, they are wanting more. And then all of a sudden you just show everyone off. It's very crazy. This was something I have to learn. And I cannot say, I don't know, it just came unconsciously. Unconsciously, I just started mastering it. It's never. I'm not sure it's I'm not sure it's something that can be planned. Like you breathing while working, while dancing cannot be planned. And you cannot say I'll be tired in the next 2 minutes. It's like impossible. It's impossible for you to tell yourself when you're going to be tired. It happens. I don't know, my body just got used to it. My body fine tuned, like my body actually has to like go through that process. I was never conscious of that process. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanusi. Yeah, so yeah, different. We've just lost Sugi. Oops, Zoomland is messing us up again, and
She's back.
Sugi's back.
Yeah.
Is she back?
Yeah.
Where is she?
I can spotlight her.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry, connection really bad here.
All right, so I am going to share Sugi's video of the performance that she was just mentioning. I'll play an excerpt. Yeah. And I'll play another excerpt as well. Sorry, I just. Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'll start with this one and go back to the other one. Sorry, Sugi. Just want to check. I was playing a video. Was that correct? She was in the water? Yeah. Okay, I'll go back to the other one that I accidentally cut off. So he was mentioned these two pieces just before when she was talking. Do you want to talk a little bit about it, or do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, can I add a little bit more? Connection. Okay. Something that I want to share is or because I didn't have a good enough dancing basic. I mean, because I didn't learn about dance just a little bit. So the connection that I get when I move my body is when I come to the new place, because it was not my place actually. I go in one island, and it's a very remote island. And in that time, I want just to move. I mean, I want to move my body. I want to feel like what the surrounding me give to my body, what what I feel inside of me, and I want to give. I want to pull out. So that's what I want to add a little bit about the piece of two piece before. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. For the audience, because I've never done this before myself, I've never held a panel discussion, and Sanusi and Laura and Rasheed are also quite new. Are we playing enough of the video, or would you like to see more?
In my opinion, I think I would love to see more, but I must say that for me, the videos were jumping. And I know how it can be a bit frustrating when it's jumping and you're not really managing to watch the way it should be, but that's the thing with Zoom, you know, it happens, those things happen. So I do think it would be nice to watch a bit more.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's a little jumpy. So maybe if we like limit each person to sort of 2 minutes of material or something, or 2 or 3 minutes, so we have a little taste, but it doesn't take up too much time. But I want to also say, Sugi, you said you weren't a dancer, but I saw a dancer. You know, it's like, it's funny how we have these ideas about claiming dance as something. I just feel like it's natural for humans to do it. So that was beautiful. That was dance.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
So there's also an exceptional director. She's a theatre director too. She does some brilliant work, and yeah, maybe later you can show us some of Main Mandut piece that she directed. All right, I don't know what to do now. Allegra, would you like to show some of your work? Sorry for putting you on the spot. And then I might go Rasheed after Allegra, so you're ready. You can send me a message. And then Sanusi, I've got some of your videos, and then Laura at the end. And so I'll let them say. And there's a question here in the chat, which after everyone's showing their work, that maybe the artists can have a look at the chat as well, just to have a look at the question about breaking rules.
Cool. So I'll just start answering quick the question about breaking rules, because I'm not sure if it's about breaking rules, but for me, art is political. I cannot separate art from being political. If that's breaking a rule, so yes. So the work that I'm gonna share with you guys now, it's my last work. It's a video art. It was supposed to be a performance lively, but because of Corona, I got a funding in Brazil, basically to go back to my country and perform. But Corona is never ending there, and it looks like the situation is getting worse and worse. And by the way, I hope Bolsonaro is gonna fall. Now let's make this clear here, since we're recording Fora Bolsonaro. Let's just say that as well, the president. And so I decided to create a video art because from the work that I wanted to perform lively about it, and I sent back to Brazil, and that's the result. Unfortunately, I cannot share with you the 12 minutes and a half. That's the time of it. So I'm just gonna share a bit, jump here and there, but I can share the link with you guys in YouTube after, and you can watch it in your house on your own. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna start from the beginning and then I jump a bit. Huh? just quick jump until the end. Then you guys can watch on your own. And yeah, otherwise I'm gonna pass too much of my time. Yeah. I can share with you guys after the movie. It's really a shame to watch like this, actually, cutting it. So if you would like, I can share. But basically, it's a work that I work a lot with feminism. I mainly work with feminism. I have a theater company I'm an actress. I'm not a dancer as well. I'm master's in acting, and I became a dancer after, actually. Nowadays, I can start to see myself as a dancer, but I'm an actress. And my work is a mixture of theater, music, and dance, and feminism and witchcraft. Everything I do, I try to bring the interaction with nature and the witchcraft, and the video, it's a reflect of all of those things. Yeah, thank you, Kerensa. Yeah, the name, Dressed to Die 3 Times. Thank you for the one who, Maria.
Yeah, I apologize for only showing excerpts because like I said, I've never done this before, and not sure what everyone is expecting. Also aware that some people have internet connections, so they just might disappear in the middle of the Zoom, like Rasheed. Yeah. But yeah, if at the end, Allegra, and for the audience and for the artists here, we could possibly show it, the full version. Yeah, I'm not sure how the Zoom thing is working for Metamorphosize, whether it must be out at that exact time, but if we can still be here and show it, yeah, if you're okay, because it's amazing, powerful work. And I know I watched it when she premiered it. Yeah. So, Sanusi, I don't actually have the picture. And I will let you all talk to each other in a second. We'll get Sanusi while he's still here, because I am worried about his connection. But there is a picture where Sanusi posted on Instagram where, and I haven't got it, but your work reminded me of it. I guess, yeah, the use of blood and the use of art as a way of protest. But I'm going to show you 2 excerpts of his work. No, sorry, Sanusi, I think I've only got one here. Sorry, I forgot to transfer. I changed computers. Share video. Sanusi.
Hi, can everyone hear me, please?
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, the video was skipping. So the video was skipping actually for me. So I really don't know if everyone actually got to watch the video clearly. But I would definitely send the link later. But personally, this is a collaboration between myself and Rodrigo Marino. Is a sound artist. Yeah, it builds sound. I got to know him through I got to know him through Kerensa. Yeah, through Kerensa. Kerensa actually recommended me for the festival. This is a piece that's talking about my calmness and my chaotic moments during the Corona era. During the Corona era, that was when I actually had to do this piece. This is like the me expressing myself through my feelings, movement, and the ambience, tapping currents from the ambience. You know? Just like my Yoruba philosophy, we believe in our spiritual, like in our ancestors, just like Yoruba, like that, we tap from them, so we're like always connected to them one way or the other. So this is a piece talking to that means a lot to me actually personally because it's a whole lot. Like this is a kid coming from Lagos, Nigeria. This is a kid that does not have. This is a kid that the old country as a whole does not really give a fuck about this kid, not because of the art that the kid is trying to like really get. So personally, it was a very very crazy moment for me during the Corona era. Nobody was expecting it. There was no tax fund. There was no food stuff. There was no food. There was no data. There was, it was a moment of depression for me. Like I was extremely depressed. I don't know. I was just like in a void state. In a void state, I was so empty. But I had a lot of friends that actually had a lot of friends that that committed suicide during this era. Had like one, two, three, yeah, like three people that are so close to me. They were artists as well, just like us, just like you, like just like everyone. Um, the the inability to not be in control was just too much. The inability to not be in control. Having a lot of having a lot of pressure, most especially as a male child, because my work is always like on nature, lifestyle, being a male child, especially pressure. Being a male child, you're expected to be successful at all costs. Like, do not come home if you're not successful, because society expects too much from us as a male child. Your parents want you to be rich at all costs. You need to take care of your wife. You need to take care of your kids. You need to take care of the family. You need to be there for your younger ones. You need to support. You need to give back to the society. So there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on the male child, and nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to. They don't even give a fuck on how you're going to make this. Nobody gives a fuck on how you're going to be successful. I'm sorry for the purpose. I'm just like so pain right now. I'm trying to like express myself really because it's the truth. It's what I'm going through that I'm actually like portraying in my work. I am not trying to act it. This is my reality. This is my reality. This is what I'm going through. This is what I am doing. This is what every kid out there, every one of my kind in this place, especially from this state, this is what every one of us is going through. The the old crazy shit of we being successful at all costs. Doesn't really matter how we're gonna be successful. You could be a murderer, you could be an assassin, you could be a robber, you could be a prostitute, you could be whatever the fuck you choose to be. You just have to be successful at all costs. Like it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And then the issue of cultism, cultism, peer pressure, just too crazy. So most times I'm always like reflecting all of these things in my work. Do not let me bore you guys with my problems so bad. But then that's like where most times where my work comes from. It comes from my reality, what I'm going through, what is happening around me, what is what. It's not a worry.
And it's interesting because this is really, really interesting because for me living here, oh, Sanusi, you are glitching. And I suspect that Sanusi is outdoors at the moment using Wi-Fi because Rasheed is not with us now because someone tried to steal his phone. Can you hear me? Yeah. So Sanusi, you were glitching a bit. So you're outside, I think. Yeah, I see people walking around. Yeah, so Rasheed just sent me a message. He's on his way home. He might rejoin us, but he said he was outdoors and someone tried to nab his phone. And he said something about freeing himself with money. So one of the things that I am aware of, I'm aware of the situation that I work in, I'm sure Allegra, Sugi, is that, this romanticized vision of our community, our online communities, and we're all connected. But the reality is that a lot of us in lots of parts of the world, and I'm one of the lucky people actually, are not working with the element of luxury. And I think having a good internet connection is luxury. Having a nice space to work in. One of the connections I had with Rasheed was I saw his roof when he was dancing one time, and I was like, oh my God, I have the same roof. Yeah. So there's these different realities, and it's such an honor to have Sanusi and Rasheed here with us and Sugi, because Zoom is a killer for us. Like financially, it just sucks so much money. And it's expensive, and it doesn't sound like much when you're in America or in other countries, but it's a huge amount for a lot of people here. Sorry. So that's also one of the next questions, which maybe Laura, you can show your work, talk about your work, and launch into the next question, which is breaking rules. In the chat, Linda asked this question: what are the rules that you break?
I saw that.
The other question that I have that I wanted to lead and launch into was the challenges, because on the other hand, I know from the Indonesian artists that I work with that we often imagine how easy it is in the West and how appreciated art is in the West. And I'm like, no. And Laura, can I mention your age? Yeah. One of the things that appealed to me about Laura when I started following on Instagram, because I'm nearly 50, is that she's 51. And I'm like, wow, I can keep dancing, because most women my age here in Indonesia are grandparents, grandmothers. A lot of us are already grandmothers. So yeah, over to you, Laura. You've got 2 questions plus your work to talk about.
Okay. And I also have the luxury now of having seen everyone else's work, and which was really touching and moving, and listened to you talk about it. And so I have an interesting thing that I noticed is how well produced all of your work was and how beautiful it looked. So for a contrast, and also because I'm coming from the US, living in relative luxury, also dealing with my own things of aging as a dancer and all that kind of stuff. But and also to speak to the political, I'm going to show a video that's very not produced. It's just me dancing in this same room to some news. And it's there's a woman who's a Congresswoman. Her name is Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. And while she was at Congress leaving the building, some other congressman called her a fucking bitch. So I decided to just use that speech, and this is an improvisation. I'm just going to show you part of it. Let me screen share, and then I'm going to actually show you some work that's more produced. That is.
2 days ago.
Let me know if you can hear it.
The steps of the Capitol when Representative Yoho suddenly turned a corner, and he was accompanied by Representative Roger Williams, and accosted me on the steps right here in front of our nation's Capitol. I was minding my own business, walking up the steps, and Representative Yoho put his finger in my face. He called me disgusting. He called me crazy. He called me out of my mind. And he called me dangerous. And then he took a few more steps, and after I had recognized his comments as rude, he walked away and said, "I'm rude. You're calling me rude." I took a few steps ahead, and I walked inside and cast my vote, because my constituents send me here each and every day to fight for them and to make sure that they are able to keep a roof over their head, that they're able to feed their families, and that they're able to carry their lives with dignity. I walked back out, and there were reporters in the front of the Capitol, and in front of reporters, Representative Yoho called me, and I quote, "a fucking bitch." These are the words that Representative Yoho levied against a congresswoman, the congresswoman that not only represents New York's 14th congressional district.
Okay, I'm gonna change from that one to a different one. So this next one that I'm gonna show is called Primates. I did a piece called Maps, and it was about people immigrating and migrating and how people move and how people come and people go, and we all came from somewhere. And so it was very much about equality, that we're all humans and that people are fucking people. So it's called Primates. And I kind of play through time with this. It's a little bit surreal, but I'm looking sort of from the past to the future with, there's a sort of post-apocalyptic feel to it too, but I'm just going to show a minute or two of this. And this music is actually my partner, who is a composer. Oh, I think I muted it. All right. There. So there's the two. They're really not produced, and then the very produced with lots of glitches, so we can feel right at home on, on Zoom with that. So I already spoke a little bit about that. Yeah. So I'm just opening it back up to everybody else.
Would anyone from the audience like to ask any questions directly before we get like, because it is 10:38. In theory, we're supposed to be finished at 11. And we were talking, doing a little improvisation to see the different bodies in real space in real time. And I believe Miss Frizz had her hand up and waving.
Hi. These were so amazing, and it's so I'm really taken by that concept of, you know, of breaking rules. And I'm wondering if, as artists, when you create these pieces, do you ever have an expectation of your audience that it should lead them to some action other than just their observation and understanding of what you're sharing with them?
Go for it if you want to answer it.
Well, that's the work I do normally. I work directly with the audience. I create rituals. Everything that I do is not really, I mean, I work a lot as an actress in the theater, traditional theater, Shakespeare, Chekhov, all of these beautiful texts. I love them. But then I got a bit bored and I started creating my own work. And when I create my own work, when I direct, act, normally the audience is part of it. And I base that in the Balinese ceremonies. If you come to Bali and you're able to watch a dance or a puppet, a shadow puppet, for example, you're gonna see that everything happens in a ceremony. Of course, you have a lot of touristic performances nowadays, but the essence, when it's really connected with nature, as we were talking, it's in a ceremony, and everyone who's there is part of it. It's not the dance that is the performance, it's the whole ceremony that it is, and everyone's responsible for something. So I try to bring this energy, this quality, let's put it this way, to my work, and I always put my audience active. They don't sit down. They're always part of the piece. And this piece that I showed in the movie, basically, this is gonna happen lively at some point, and the audience is meant to be in it, working with me in it, and not in the movie, but I chose, for example, to look into the camera as well, for that reason, to put the audience with me. I'm looking to you, you're part of this with me, you know, because cinema, I mean, it's done. It's not lively, so I cannot really have the audience interacting with me. But I do find very interesting to start taking this quality, start actually, how can I say, inspiring people into be part of the art and not really passive. We have this tendency of sitting down and just putting ourselves down, and gravity pushes us, and we just watch. So I find very interesting that we start recreating our audiences in a different way, that they are part of the thing, that they choose what they want to see, where they want to go, what they want to do, you know? Yeah.
Would anyone else like to reply or comment on Miss Frizz's question?
Yeah, I would like to say something. But then I need to understand the question again. Can you repeat it? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, maybe you can bring your phone a little bit closer and your mask just down a bit, if it's okay, if it's safe. Yeah.
Can everyone hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
So, oh, sorry, I skipped. Sorry, I just skipped now. Can you please repeat the question? I just skipped.
My question was, wait, are you asking me to repeat the question? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I was just saying, do you have an expectation when you create these dances that your audience just receive them as participation, or do you have an expectation that it will create activism or some kind of response with them?
Okay, yes, I remember now. Thank you. So, due to the kind of training I've gotten, or the kind of training I got, I started as a street dancer. For going on stage to perform, stage performances, Instagram videos, YouTube. But first things first, I started as a street dancer. It's the kind of training I thought was the audience are there to watch you. That's why they are called audience. The audience, first of all, the mindset while leaving the house. The mindset while leaving the house is to come over to watch you perform. So it is always expected that you're getting.
Yeah, Sanusi, you've got a lot of noise in the background. Sanusi, maybe you could type that answer and we'll move on to someone else because you have a noisy background. Okay. Anyone else?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
We might just
I'm
keep it
sorry
a little
about that.
shorter because there's other people to reply and we're going to dance together soon, I think. Okay.
Definitely. So just like I was saying, my training doesn't warrant me to like give 100% attention on what the audience is going to like think about my work or how they're going to react to it. There's just 3 rules that is always like guiding me. First and first, do I understand what I want to produce? Do I understand what I want to produce? Number 1. Number 2, am I ready? Like, is it true for me? Like, is it an original? Like, is it original? Is there a force driving it? Like, is there a force driving why I want to do this? That's the second thing. And the third thing is, would the audience or the people watching this, would they learn something new from it? So these are the 3 rules guiding me every time I want to perform, I want to create, or I want to perform, or I want to do something. Yeah, definitely. Maybe I have aesthetic. Once I do backflip or I do full twist or something, people are going to shout like, "Whoa! You did something! That's amazing! That's it!" But then, am I passing a message? Am I giving back to the society? Am I giving back to humanity? So I'm always like considering this, or putting this just at the back of my mind. But then I'm not really sure I give a lot of emphasis on the audience.
Mhm.
I'm always like doing it because giving more of emphasis on the audience would like restrict me to a lot of things.
Thank
That's
you,
just it.
Susie. Thanks. Thank you. Is there another question or would anyone like to ask another question? Or would anyone of our guests that are speaking here tonight, do you want to say something on this topic? That Miss
Something
Chris,
really quick.
yes.
Yeah. So with audiences and with making art, I feel like in a weird way, if I'm making a show, there's going to be some kind of audience integration. Like when they come in, there will have to do something where they have to make a choice, where there's action involved, where they need to somehow become part of the thing. And there's sometimes sort of a confrontational aspect, not in a mean way, but in a wake up. This is life right now. This is it. So I kind of like feel like that's an important thing. And then the other thing, like at the same time, art should have some speaking for itself that is beyond what I know what it is. So people are going to take it in however they take it in. And I feel like that's really important, that we're not squashing the creative spirit, but we're allowing the spirit to speak through us when we're making something. It's not really us making and responsible for everything, but there's the creative life of whatever, God, goddess, anything, energy, however you want to think, that's what's coming forward. So that's important. And then I also feel like one reason why I keep making things now is because I feel like I get so much response from people that need to see things, that need to understand stuff through movement, there's so few people moving. People are watching TV and this and that. So a lot of my work now is really trying to get other people to move too. Like we're alive through movement. So that's a huge part of it for me right now.
Yeah, I think I saw that in one of your Instagrams about this. Yeah, the alive through movement. I can't remember what you said. It was something that struck my heart. Rasheed is back, and we haven't shown any of his work. So let's have a look at his work, because we were just talking to sort of get him up to pace. We were just talking about, we had a question from the audience about breaking rules. What rules do you break? And also about whether there's an expectation to just show the work, you know, when we're doing political work, but also whether we're expecting the audience to respond to it and actually take action. I think that was my interpretation. So this is another piece of Rasheed. This work. Is this one okay?
Yeah. I go out there, I'm a mock and what time they go, because I pull up in the mutton that's all. I pass my kick out, I go, I go talk about what card is on. It's even like a sin name walk, past life when I walk out there, born. And I'm a book, I jab. Yeah, Pino on your highway, here is the highway, Omaka highway, Shalom na highway.
And I'll show you another little X. I don't know why that was so short. That's all I've got there. I had it, like I say, I changed over computers at the very, very last second. And I thought that was a full video. We did actually watch a little bit of this one already, but at the beginning, so I'll just put it in again. It's not me stopping the video. They were short videos. And Rasheed's gone again. Can anyone see him? Someone's put something.
No, he's
Okay, so it's 10:52. Should we dance, or do you want more questions? Yeah, I mean, do you want more? Does the audience have any questions?
Should we do a dance with the audience? Everyone who wants to can participate and just move together.
Sure.
We've lost both Rasheed and.
That's not unusual with their internet connections. Yeah. There was a performance like where Sanusi was coming to dance and couldn't get internet and ended up performing 3 hours later for Metamorphosize. it is an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about everyone else? Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to share screen. Oh, there we've got one of them. Somebody back. Sanusi.
I mean, I did have a question, but I'll ask that later if we have.
Go ahead.
Well, between you, Sanusi, Rasheed, I see a lot of training. I see a lot of joy. You know, actually, can I ask free-form a question later? Let's get dancing.
Okay, let me spotlight these guys.
And if Melissa and Mohammed Way would like to join us for a dance. Hi, Rasheed is back too.
Yeah. So you have the choice of being on gallery view, or
Okay.
if you're on speaker view, it'll be all the spotlit people. But it's invitation for everyone to dance. And I'm just going to play the music, and you can tell me thumbs down if the music needs to go down, or up if it needs to go up. So just, yeah, if you guys want to dance.
Talk about set made plans. Talk about tomorrow. The I see. Don't pray for me. I'm not what you are here for. Feel me. I'll take you by my to love. You got a sweet side of I beg to offer a promise that may be unkind. But my ship and country could never be under your sail. See what you are. Something so wrong, cut the heart out. But it could be would you feel me if I said I needed comfort? Then turn it down. Would you kill me if I said I can't go on? Don't pray for me. I got something of my own.
Really beautiful. I want to cry. It's been such a wonderful honor to listen to you artists talk, to have you be here and to see you move together and to hear what you do.
Thank you for putting it together. So much fun. And also just amazing to see, you know, I don't know, there's something really for me that's really just heartening that there are other people in the world doing anything or thinking anything that's in any way even similar or not similar, but just the art factor. It's really, it makes me feel good and opens my heart. It's beautiful to see you.
Rasheed, did I show Rasheed's work just now before we did this? And did he talk about it? No,
Yeah, what did you
Rasheed,
say?
Rasheed, I'm sorry. I just realized that. Would you better talk about your work and what you do?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm old.
So can I talk about that now?
Yes, please.
Okay, my name is Rasheed Ridwan. I am a dancer from Lagos, Nigeria. I started dancing at a very tender age, at the age of 4, even with my diapers on stage. Yeah. And I started with the traditional dances, the African traditional dances, the bata, the atilogo, the koro. So we have a lot of them. So I started with them. And while I was growing, so instead of, all these dances that I was doing, it's like it's my history, which some people created, and like the ballet is also your history, some people's history, not mine, some people's history, while some people has maybe improved it one way or the other. So I was looking for a way to take my dance to the high relations, like to a new level. So I discovered the contemporary dance. So through, if you know Kudus Onikepu, is my role model, Kudus Onikepu, and through Kudus Onikepu, during my research, I also noticed Akram Khan, which is my number one role model. So, and so Kudus Onikepu and Akram Khan is like a bigger version of me, when I can see Akram Khan, he also started with his tic-tac, all this technique. And later I went into contemporary. So merging the both together has given his work a special space for everybody to always want him to see him work. You understand? And Kudus Onikepu also is also that kind of person. So I am still young, not so. So I am, let's say, after Akram Khan, Kudus Onikepu, and I'm seeing myself as the next person. Like, okay, how can you do this better, even than what you've been seeing? Because one way or the other, I am emulating what they have done. So for me, I'm still trying in my own possible way to also take this to another level, so other people can also emulate this action of mine. So about my works, I noticed it was unconsciously until I noticed it was a conscious act for me when I work. I noticed that my works are majorly what I am passing through. Like my current stage, it reflects in my work. Yeah, and I noticed Akram Khan also. He almost all his pieces, he is trying to tell stories of what has happened, to him, one way or the other. Produce Onikepu telling the African stories, and I am from a land of storytellers, so I have to tell my story, through my tool, which is dance. Um, and so majorly I've not really done my own solo piece because I am planning to do that, like my solo piece. where I'll be the only one to do my dance, apart from the musician. So majorly, most of the works I've been involved in, I'm always involved in the duo, majorly me and Israel, Adebayo Femi, and with maybe trio with some other guys. So I the first piece we created after I graduated from my dance academy was Untitled. So where Africa, Lagos as a whole, it is big with a lot of vices. We have the politician, we have the people of the community, we have the suffering, the rich, the poor, the all these everyday lives of an African boy. So we're looking for ways to communicate to people. And funny how they were repairing our roads. They wanted to repair our roads. That's what they've been telling us since I was a kid. Like they are going to repair this road, give you free food, good health care. And since then, we've seen nothing, like nothing. So there was a road around our area, and we said, okay, we are going to storm this, or we are going to storm this place and let the government know that they are doing the wrong thing. So it is titled Untitled. The title of the piece is Untitled because it's like the government are just behaving anyhow, the people are behaving anyhow, the citizen and everybody are just behaving anyhow. So we're just looking for a way to talk about what everybody was doing at that time, So we went into the mud, we were dancing, shouting, talking to the government, like it was a dance protest. Yeah, you can go to YouTube to watch it. It is Untitled Series. Untitled Series.
Can you put that into the chat, the name, so that people can look for it on YouTube, yeah?
Untitled Upcoming Series.
Yeah, so it's easy for people to find it again.
Yeah, Untitled Series. So, and after then, we left that position. We went to another space to do it again, and other spaces around Lagos. And after doing all these spaces after the piece, we did the piece for about, let's say, a month. So the second month, they started repairing those roads. Because these are videos, the videos got to the governor of the state, and it was like, who are these kids? Who are these people dancing inside the water? Why are they doing this? You understand? So it's like confronting him, telling him that he's doing the wrong thing at the moment, But dance is the only way we could use in communicating this, which we did. So then after we left the piece and we went to after the piece, we were just looking at what would we do again. And I told them, okay, let's do something about initiation. So
to do something about what?
Initiation. So we spoke about conscious and unconscious initiation. The unconscious, so I will start with the unconscious initiation first. The unconscious initiation is talking about how a boy grew into manhood, a girl grew into womanhood, how you all find yourself in a space where you have to survive by force, where you are not prepared for, but at least it's like the nature, it's the nature of life for you to do it at that time. So you have no excuse that to just go. So it is unconscious. It is while you are doing it, then you'll be conscious that, oh, I'm now in this stage. So the conscious initiation that we spoke about is the initiation of the cultists. So while people just decide to join a cult because we have a lot in our area here, it's a good area, I must say, but one way or the other, it's not safe 100% because after I left my friend's place today, I was going on the road on the bike and I was stopped by some touts. my phone was almost collected from me. You understand? So I have to save myself with some cash, which last I'm here back. So that is one initiation, which means they go into this cult just because they want to become this, they want to have freedom, they want to do this and that. And the third initiation that we spoke about was the initiation of, in Lagos, in Nigeria, we still have some places where after 7 years, they go to circumcise the boy. In my own culture, in Yoruba culture, they circumcise us immediately. They give birth to us, as the boy. They circumcise you. So, but in the north, after 7, there is a tribe where after 7 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, then they now go to circumcise the boy. You know how painful it will be for the boy at that stage. So and again, there are some initiation that are bloody. You understand? It is good to initiate some people, but some may never how do I say this? Some may never get the chance to graduate this initiation. They may die during this initiation process. Like I've had like 2 friends who died during the initiation process. So we're just using all this material. So unconsciously, it's coming to us as a citizen. Then we use it as an artist. Okay, we are now in this position. So let's use it as a key point. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about And the last piece I made, I Am Femi. The last piece I Am Femi made was Kilorukomi. Kilorukomi, what is your name? It means what is your name? Kilorukomi. So Kilorukomi simply means like we are trying to show identity. What's your identity? We are colonized some years ago by the white people, and we're given some names, like Rasheed Ridwan. I believe that's not my name. So I have my native name, which is Adisa. Adisa. So that Adisa is my own real name. You understand? So that Adisa is my own real name, which I so much cherish. So it's about knowing your worth, knowing your identity, knowing who you are. So Femi, Adebayo Femi, Israel. So we believe Israel is like a borrowed name from the white man's land. You understand? So because we actually discovered that most people in Nigeria, some young boys and girls, when they go out and they ask them, hey, what's up? What's your name? They are so fast to tell them that my name is Sandra. My name is Cynthia. Instead of you telling us your real traditional name, your indigenous name, because that is who you are. And we used this film as a Mulan. If you have watched the film Mulan, so I think I need to. It's a film.
Yep.
Mulan,
yeah.
Have you watched it? You watched it? So Mulan was just talking about a girl who went into the army instead of all the people that are accepted into the army ground, the military ground are all boys. But she pretended to be a boy, and when the real war came, so she was still pretending to be a war, so to be a guy until a witch was just over, like, show your identity, show yourself. You need to show yourself for you to conquer this war. You need to show yourself, and she was like, she needs to show her, so she just had to open her hair and do everything and tell them that she is a female, you know, and that was when they conquered the war. You understand? So for me, there are a lot of war for we humans that we are to fight. And if you don't know your identity, if you don't know who you are, you can never survive this. You can never finish this war. So for me, that's how I work. That's how I work. Yeah.
Thank you, Rasheed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I mean, I'm not a good talker. There's nothing I can say except thank you.
Yeah.
To all of you, thank you to all of you. I saw a connection early on. I should take notes between Rasheed and Laura, you know, responding to the reality, whether your reality is coming through TV or whether it's coming through what you see on the streets. Same with Allegra. There are all these wonderful connections. We should end this. I don't know. No one's kicked us out. If Allegra would like to share the video, if there's people who would like to go home, it's also okay. I know you're all at home, but I mean, like home without your computer screen. I don't know. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you everybody for sharing yourselves and your work and it's been really interesting. It was so interesting for me actually to see that. I think it's Rasheed where he's in pink on the ground. Like I totally related to that. When you said, oh, I can see this connection, I was like, oh, I can see this. Yeah. And also Allegra, the beauty of your video, everybody, like, yeah, Sugi also, like, it's been really moving and amazing to see your work.
Yeah, very special. For me, it was really, really, really special. I'm glad that you could take the time to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. It was amazing to see everyone's work. I only wish I can see more and more and more. I'm gonna search for you guys other works, you know, because I would like to take my time to watch it. And to say thank you so much, Kerensa, for inviting me, because it feels very good to be a Brazilian woman and to be able to speak a bit and show a bit the Brazilian issues that happens with women in my country. I think we all the countries have issues around. In my country, every 23 minutes. Every 23 minutes. So thank you so much for allowing me as a woman to be here, spreading that internationally, because we need to talk about these issues. People's issues is everyone's issue. So country issues is everyone's issue. Right now we have a crazy man as a president, and that's not only Brazilian issue. This is the whole world issue. The Amazon is dying. We're not gonna have air very soon. So it's everyone's issue. We need to do something, you know. Thank you.
Yeah. And Lego, do you want to show your video? Stardust and Adini and Mahi, sorry, Mayo. I'm so used to reading names. Maulihat.
Yeah.
Would you like to show it?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to. Do you think we have time? How is it?
No idea. I'm sure that they probably plan things so that there is a gap.
Before Laura leave the meeting, thank you, Laura, for initiating the dance. It's such a relief, and it's really nice to have dance together with all of you today. Thanks all.
Yeah, that was a real treat. It was so nice to dance with everybody and the participants too. Really beautiful. So thank you. I'm going to go. Thank you, Kerensa.
See you, Laura.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.